Alrighty, welcome back. Last time we visited the 6-day stilt all the way in the northwest of the map, and we witnessed a bunch of carnage. Some NPCs got killed that were kind of important along the way, and well, we couldn't get everything that I had initially planned for. This time, kind of trying to make up for this, we are back in Joppa, all the way down over here. And my current objective is to, well, just go ahead, see whether Tam, the Dromat trader, has anything new for us or interesting that we could immediately use. And then I'm just gonna go ahead and explore the immediate surroundings, trying to get a few experience levels under our belts for our Snapshot friends, so they hopefully don't immediately drop dead as soon as we encounter a bit of a stronger enemy. Admittedly, they do have more maximum HP than me, but I would feel a little bit safer if they were a bit higher level and could fight for themselves more efficiently. So Dram here has a steel plate mail. This does have 4 defense, but also negative for evasion. It is quite heavy. I tend to not necessarily use steel plate mail, but we could arguably decide to pick up one of them for our friends over here. You are currently equipped with a chainmail, which is 3 defense and -1 evasion, and you also have a chainmail, same difference. Let me actually take a quick look at them. I'm gonna dominate our friend Ubu here. Let's see. Ubu currently has 148 skill points available to be used. Because of course when they level up they gain skill points, and also an attribute point we could invest. What I'm going to do is I'm initially going to put that attribute point probably into toughness, just to give Ubu a bit more maximum HP to work with. So let's put that there. And you can see the HP over here just increased to 71 for now. Ubu also has 14 dodge value, which is honestly quite a lot, so that is probably pretty good for melee combat. I honestly genuinely don't really know how much 14 truly is, but it kind of makes me think I don't necessarily want to equip the chainmail or equip the steel plate mail, at least not on Ubu. Let's take a quick look over to our other friend here, Bardo. Bardo here has currently also an attribute point. Similarly, Bardo actually has a lot more maximum HP than Ubu, which I find to be kind of curious. I'm tempted to put this into strength instead for extra power for melee attacks. I'm actually gonna just do that. Oh, Bardo is also one higher level, so that kind of explains the difference in HP, I suppose. Let's see, Bardo here, we could... So, Snapshots just start with absolutely no skills. If you were to permanently take over the corpse or body of a Snapjaw, you actually would not even have the ability to make a campfire to whip up a meal. You specifically would need to learn that here through cooking and gathering. But this is of no concern for our Snapjaw friends because they, well, let's say functionally, they don't need to eat while I'm not controlling them. Practically, I like to think that's just more that I just prepare food for them as well. Anyways, Bardo here has currently a 200 sword equipped, as well as he is the one with the horn, which does count as a short weapon. I like to give my Snapshot buddies axe proficiency because their bite counts as an axe and they can get to ludicrously powerful levels with it. So I think I'm just gonna invest into axes already, because Bardo already is using his face as his main weapon. There's a little star next to the face basically. This is indicating the main limb the character uses. You can choose whatever limb you want to use as your main weapon. You can even use the arm or the back for some reason. You can kind of freely change that. There's a... I don't remember the default binding for it. It is insert for me when I hover over the corresponding slot. Anyways, I'm gonna invest into X. I believe both of these characters could use a little bit of axe proficiency. So it costs me 50 skill points in order to invest that. We have 234, so We get axe proficiency, just the baseline here. So yes, we invest into this. And we now have +2 to chance to hit with axes. Whenever you roll to hit, you basically roll a 20-sided die, add your strength modifier or agility to it. Actually, I think it's agility to hit, and then +2. So effectively, we just have a like 10%-ish increased chance to hit on enemies. Aside from that, I'm also going to unlock multi-weapon fighting. This basically gives us two things. For one, it will unlock Flurry, which is an ability that, or an active ability that AI will actually use pretty frequently. And Flurry basically allows you to make one attack with each one of your weapons at the same time. So in this case, since we have the face, which is next, we have the horn, which is a short blade, and a long blade, which is a two-handed iron longsword. Basically, Barda is going to make an attack with all three of these weapons at the same time whenever he uses Flurry. And specifically, multi-weapon proficiency also increases the chance to attack with offhand weapons by 20%. Genuinely, I don't actually remember what the chance is. This has a 20% offhand attack chance, so I imagine this is now 40% chance to attack with the horn as well. I don't actually know whether that's how it works, or whether it's like 20% increased from 20%, which would be, well, not a whole lot, 1.2 times 24% then. Anyways, higher chance of attacking with secondary weapons, and now a higher chance to hit with axes, which I'm probably gonna give both of my snapshot buddies here axe proficiency. So let me go ahead and take control of Ubu again, and similarly just give axe proficiency, at least to have the initial chance to increase the chance to hit. Ubi does not have enough skill points to invest more into anything else that I currently would want, although tactics actually could be an interesting one. Currently, neither Ubu nor Bardo have the ability to sprint. This is a baseline ability that you would think every creature has by default, but you actually have to unlock it here by skilling into tactics, which I'm actually going to do here. Basically, this also allows our companions to sprint without losing their dodge value at the same time. Sprinting basically means for a few turns you move at double the movement speed, effectively spending half the time moving. Also, in case you were wondering, this is the reason why I have domination to begin with. AI control characters, by default without mods, will not level up their skills or abilities, proficiencies, and often they just equip things I don't necessarily want them to equip with their stuff, so dominated creatures is my only way to take direct control of them and improve their powers, and also eventually give them some mutations. Now, let's just head out and look in the immediate vicinity. Once again, we start down here. I'm just gonna go down. Oh, did we get lost? We did get lost. I was hoping we found something. We regain our bearings, so I'm gonna go south once again. One west, again west, and we find some ruins. Let's investigate. We find the Shaylilil village. We found a village. That's actually interesting, because villages can have some interesting folks around, and there's an alligator here, right? Or a croc that I didn't even notice. So I'm just gonna walk away from the croc. Actually, I'm gonna use menacing stare, so it's gonna run away from me. And Ubu just gained a level. I guess Ubu was really missing just a tiny bit of experience additional. So I'm going to briefly take control of Ubu, but now just remember that I already spent my skill points, so I can't get multi-weapon proficiency on Ubu either. Whoops. Is there anything else I would want to get? I would like to get charge on both of my melee combatants, because they are gonna be mostly melee. Because predictably, our friends here are not particularly good at shooting accurately, and they will shoot as soon as they have the ability to target an enemy with ranged weapons, which means high probability of just hitting friends, or me in particular, which would be kind of bad. Also, fun fact, we do have the innate ability for smelling creatures. Where is it? Here, heightened smell. We can detect creatures within 25 squares, and we can also sometimes identify them. We can actually see there's a Gershling right here and right here. But if I end domination, I believe we don't see the Gershling here. This is because this is a burrowing Gershling, and they are currently hidden. My character can't see them, but our friends can see them. Also, I'm gonna tell them to engage aggressively, which means as soon as they see any creature or smell them, they will immediately attack them. Actually, I don't think the smelling counts. So I'm actually just attacking with my carbide battle axe into the Gershling that is currently hidden. You can also see on the left, this wall here is kind of creeping closer. Layer of resin extruded by sugary spawn. Basically the burrowed Gershling here is just digging and making a wall at the same time. You know what, I just realized, I don't actually know if these guys are hostile. This is a village. Then again, the croc did attack us, so that's a reasonable... But the croc was not part of the village. Let's see, are the seahorses part of the village? No. What are you guys doing? Hello? Why are you guys just standing there? Let me just switch screens. I wonder if there's something in their movement script broke or something. I actually don't know. Sometimes I feel like they have a mind of their own, and I don't know what that mind is supposed to do. Anyways, well, that village is overrun by burrowing Gershlings. You can actually knock down these walls, they don't have much HP. So it's not that big of a deal, but it's just a bit annoying to try and navigate when burrowing Gershling... Oops, sorry. Actually, let me just put you into the bigger puddle there. There we go. Hello? I like to go in there. Attacking this wall until it breaks. You can see at the bottom here, this is currently what I'm targeting, and is likely damage. I'm actually just going to hold control and press down, and eventually the wall is going to break. And we see some strange tubes. We can examine them, and it's a metal folding chair. Not worth a whole lot. I'm just gonna still pick it up because it is worth a little bit of something. There's a copper nugget on this table, and that might just be largely everything here. Anyways, this does not appear to be like a traditional village with people that we can interact with, and it turns out these burrowing Gerslings are going to be really annoying to just... We can't really explore this village properly, so I'm just gonna leave and continue traveling on the overworld to try and find something more interesting. So we're gonna go west, 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 south, east, 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 east again, and we lost. Didn't find anything of note, unfortunately. There's a crocodile, and it's dead. Basically, our sprinting maniac of a snapshot decided to just attack it immediately. We regain our bearings. And, well, we haven't really found anything of particular note. There we discover a lair. Yes, investigate it. A legendary croc. Okay, the Tla-Nkipolak. Well, I think this is probably a good time to equip a new torch so we can see in the dark. And explore a lair of a legendary crocodile. We could, theoretically, exchange one of our snapshot buddies to try and recruit a crocodile, but I kind of like having the snapjaws as companions because they are, well, they can basically equip most of the things that I can equip, and I can also teach them various things that, well, you can, basically it's much easier to manage snapjaws in my personal opinion than trying to manage a creature that has different types of working limbs. A crocodile would have like 4 sets of feet, of course, so you need 2 pairs of shoes in order to equip them. And the defense would be averaged across all the limbs. Oh, there we go, there's an irritable tortoise. Tortoises have really high defense for the early game. They are not particularly dangerous per se, but they can be quite annoying to try and take down. This guy is particularly fond of trying to attack me, so I'm just gonna try and spook him and attempt to attack him. Our snapjaws are also attacking with their axe faces, or bites if you will, and if they hit properly, they will actually be able to cleave the enemy's defense, which means it reduces their defense by 1 per cleave level, which also is basically a part of the axes traits, that if you do hit an enemy, you cleave their armor and reduce the armor by a certain amount, basically meaning that next time you have a higher chance to either deal damage or deal even more damage because you bypass the reduced armor by a lot more. So something I haven't actually showed yet. Because I unlocked the ability to cook meals and also preserve foods, I can now cook with, well, foods that I have. Goat jerky, wine wafer sheaf, and star apple jam. Each one of these ingredients has effectively their own properties. Jerky in general just gives you maximum HP. Star apple jam, I feel like, I don't actually know how it works, but I think it tends to make it more like chance-based as to what exactly is happening. Like, instead of giving me max HP, it's more like I get max HP if I get hit by an enemy or something like that. And wine wafer sheaf, I have absolutely no idea what that adds to the food. I could actually check my inventory. We eat the meal. Whenever you drop below 20% HP, you don't thirst for the next 12 hours. It's kind of a random effect as to what you get. So this is kind of random. Basically, if I'm at low HP, I don't drink any water for the next 12 hours. It's basically the HP bar based stuff. 20% HP came from the jerky, and wine wafer apparently is based on thirst. So it has like effects on how much food or something to drink you need. Alright, there's a crocodile. I'm going to actually use temporal fugue here. Temporal fugue is going to make copies of myself. 3 of them. Also one apparently landed on the other side of the wall. And they are going to immediately go ahead and start attacking, probably. At least I think they're attacking. What are you guys doing? Come on, guys. Righty. And the reason why I wanted to do this is because they have lasers. Where did the Taurus go? Oh, I think the Taurus got out intimidated by one of our copies there. And then it ran away because it was feared. Anyways. There's a bunch of these guys. It's kind of rude. And we don't find anything interesting. Oh, there's a bunch of these annoying little young ivories here that bleed doesn't deal a bunch of damage, which is gonna wait until we heal up. There's also a wait menu I can open here, and we can wait until the party is healed. And more people get impaled by these young ivories, kind of rude. Anyways, let's take a look around. Let's find the entrance to the lair. This chameleon is apparently hostile towards us. I wonder whether... So, this salamander is neutral towards us. It does not attack us, but chameleons tend to be intrinsically hostile. And our snapshots are just taking care of it. I was actually curious whether this salamander would become hostile towards us, because it saw another unshelled reptile compatriot being attacked, but apparently that is not how that works for them. There's another croc over there, but we have a snapshot who's just easily taking care of them. And goodbye, croc. Actually, something I am just thinking about. Cooking and gathering. Oh, I need 50 skill points. Right, I don't have the skill points. Basically, butchery is one of the skills that I want to unlock from the cooking and gathering tree, because this would allow me to butcher corpses of various creatures and get mostly food out of them for more maximum HP meal preparation. But also, it can occasionally lead to getting items from them. For example, if you butcher an ape, you can get clothing from them, effectively like gloves that also protect you against the cold, but the apes also don't like it when you wear them, stuff like that. There's a dreaded tuber. These are an ingredient to make salve injectors if you are capable of tinkering, which we're not, so I'm probably not gonna bother doing that. That's all. Ooh, hi. There's the legendary Krogu right here. This is Sla Nkipolak. Her hoary, cracked scales look like marked stone. She's admired by the Svardim for reprogramming their least favorite robot, apparently capable of reprogramming robots, disliked by fungi for lighting a beacon fire to warn their enemies. Let me tell you, I would love to be friendly with the Svardim. Those are frog people, and I like frogs. But yeah, also boosted agility and adrenaline flowing. So these legendary creatures normally come with a bunch of mutations, which honestly is kind of surprising that our Snapchat friends only had like one between them. But this one here has 2 mutations that I can tell. Adrenaline flowing, which is release adrenaline, the same as I have. And the other thing this legendary crocodile has is... oh, what's it called? It's like ego projection, I believe, which can temporarily raise a stat based on your ego modifier. Let me actually see if I can just take over this creature's mind by dominating it. And it worked. That is very interesting. Also, there's an ice frog over there. This guy can freeze us, or try to anyways. And now, we are a crocodile. Let me actually just take a look at the crocodile. As you can see, there's just right arm, right forefoot, right hind foot, right arm too. This thing, technically speaking, has a lot of arms and hands that it has, as well as the face, which also counts as an axe, kind of like the other guys. It has pretty solid agility, like actually really good. Well, what's the baseline agility here? 30. Ego projection not doing a whole lot for our crocodile because it only has, well, 12 baseline. So our snapshots are much better in terms of intelligence, willpower and ego to survive, but this one would be much more focused on being able to attack. And I'm currently taking control of this crocodile, so I'm taking advantage of this and just attack the creatures that are attacking me around here. Uh-oh. That frog is going to remove my concentration if it gets to attack, which it probably will get to attack. I'm gonna try and attack it again. It missed. Okay, it missed again. It missed again. Missed again. My domination is broken because it dealt 1 damage to him. Anyways, that frog is now badly wounded. So what I'm gonna do is I'm going to use Temporal Fugue to duplicate myself. And I'm just gonna let my Snapchat buddies handle this frog. I think the frog is dead. Yeah, we gain 300 experience for killing the frog. Then I'm gonna tell my Snapshot to attack the crocodile right in front of him. There's a high chance that he was targeting something else, so he wouldn't attack the thing in front of him. And frequently enemies will actually switch places with their allies. And sometimes it looks like your body just stops attacking. That is because whenever your allies are attacking, they are specifically targeting the thing that they've either first saw or you told to attack them. So here I'm telling him to go ahead and attack the legendary crocodile here. And the legendary crocodile is attempting to attack me, which is why it's not attacking my Snapshot body, so my Snapshot can just attack the entire way through. Which also means we will probably knock out this crocodile sooner rather than later. It is already cleaved. So when the crocodile is blinking with this X means that its armor has been cleaved, which means it has 1 less armor value, which means a higher chance to either hit or even deal multiples of damage. Also, apparently one of my copies is still alive back there. Your reputation with unshelled reptiles has decreased by 180 to minus 755. Unshelled reptiles is, well, crocodiles, salamanders, etc. You're now despised by unshelled reptiles, which means I think even normally neutral salamanders will now attack us on sight. We're also getting a reputation reduction with the Svardim, but we gain reputation with the fungi, which may or may not be well helpful. And also, one of our friends just leveled up, I think. I'm actually not sure one of our friends leveled up. Oh, there's another frog. Here, Bardo, just attack the frog right in front of you. Oh. Overwhelmed with terror, this thing, the Red Root, decided to just give us a spooky aura. We get another 300 experience for defeating the frog. And Bardo, I would like for you to attack this guy. Go. Hit him. Good job, buddy. So now we can just move in here. We have defeated the legendary crocodile. Frankly, there was actually a high chance that I should have just let the crocodile stay alive, because it had really useful reputation with unshelled reptiles, as well as getting reputation with... Also, let me just rest until we're healed. Reputation with unshelled reptiles was gonna be one of its traits, as well as reputation with Svardim. So what I could have done is I could have come back with an injector later, attacked the crocodile with a love injector, and made it temporarily my friend, and then did the water ritual with it in order to gain the reputation it is favored by. So in this case, I feel compelled still to try and get more experience, rather than not. As you can see, this salamander is now hostile towards us, so it will attack us. And our snapshot buddies, of course, are just gonna continue defeating them as well. The little beetle bug is not hostile, so that's nice. So let's continue exploring. You can also see that our friend here, I think Ubu was it, has the ability to sprint, so he immediately just charges on ahead. And if I give him the actual ability to charge at some point, or her in this case, then she will be able to just charge and attack enemies from a decent distance away. And as you can see, they are pretty competent in combat. I was initially worried that they would not be able to collect the liquid, able to keep up too well, but yeah. We grab some boar meat and some arrows out of the chest. Arrows are ammunition, they functionally weigh nothing. I don't ever really get to use arrows, but that's okay. Also, there's more crocs. I'm just gonna take a step back, let my snapshot friends deal with them. One of the crocs also got hit by a bloody root there. Collect more wine. And knock out these flowers. Always hoping whenever I knock out one of these wallflowers or roots, whatever you want to call them, hoping that we get their rare drop, which would be really helpful eventually to make more Ubernostrum injectors. I forget what the rare drop is called, but basically it's not particularly common to get one anyways. Okay, I think this is pretty much the entire lair. Let's get back out of here. And yeah, that's okay. So one of those guys got the level. I think I would like to have a little bit more experience. Where are you guys going? They are running after something. They are smelling an enemy that I cannot see. I think. Yeah, I gained 5 experience. I don't even know what that was. Probably just a bunch of salamanders, I were to guess. If you are in areas that are more dangerous than this one, it is actually quite scary sometimes when they just start charging at something that I cannot see. Because, of course, then I would not be able to tell whether we should retreat from a difficult encounter or anything like that. Which can easily get them killed if you're not careful. Anyways, let's continue with dominating here. We are currently controlling Ubu, and Ubu has now 4 mutation points. We're gonna press the M button to get a new mutation. It's gonna be random what we get. Let's see what we can potentially have. Photosynthetic skin, disintegration, or carapace. That's actually very interesting. Alrighty, so disintegration is a mind-based attack as an ego, and our snapshots are not particularly great at ego stuff, so I will probably not give in that. Plus, while it does a tremendous amount of damage in the immediate area, I think this probably could also hurt us, and as I've mentioned before, AI-controlled friends are not particularly great at paying attention that they don't hurt you. Although it could be potentially like some other mutation that makes sure they don't hit allies. I generally don't know. Anyways, I'm not too intrigued by this integration either way. A carapace would no longer allow our friend to be wielding or wearing any armor, which is fine if you continue putting levels into the carapace, because it also gives nice heat and cold resistance, as well as eventually pretty solid armor value overall. But I prefer generally being able to equip armor. Also, you might notice that when I leveled up to level 5, I had the opportunity to first get a new mutation, and then I would get the ability to rapidly advance one of my physical mutations by 3 stages. Our buddies here unfortunately do not get that opportunity, so until level 15 they don't get the opportunity to rapidly advance one of their physical mutations. Photosynthetic skin here, basically, it turns our friend into a plant of sorts. This can be really intriguing, because you effectively get extra quickness when you bask in the light of the day, and you also get extra dodge value when you're in the same space as foliages. The reputation largely doesn't matter, because usually my allies take the reputation that I have, I think. Anyways, plus 15 quickness would be great. The question I wonder about is whether it's actually gonna work in terms of... Basically, what I'm trying to say is, friends don't actually usually use up food or drinks. So theoretically, if I use photosynthetic skin, bask in the light for the extra quickness, so my friend here can act a bit more quickly, I wonder whether that just continuously works and stays that way. Anyways, it feels like the only proper choice I have anyway, so I'm gonna choose the photosynthetic skin. We gain the ability to bask. Also, you might notice, Ubu is now green, which is honestly actually quite a nice bonus, because, well, now we can actually differentiate the Meso more easily. Anyways, we cannot bask because I need sunlight to bask, so we're gonna end domination for now. Actually, wait, we also get skill points, didn't we? Yes, we did. You already have hurdle. I would like to give you... Oh, you need 19 strength for getting more into access. Okay, it's gonna take a few levels until we get there. In this case, I'm gonna give you the ability to attack with multiple weapons at the same time, probably. Because you currently have a dagger, if axe raise, another dagger, and then the left hand. Actually, I could give you also abilities to attack with daggers more efficiently. Those are considered to be short blades. Short blades are over here. That's 50 skill points to invest, or 150 to do the multi-weapon attack. I'm gonna go for the multi-weapon first, because that's always going to be useful for our snapjaws, because they will be just largely wielding multiple weapons at a time. Alright, now I'm gonna just wait a few rounds until I can dominate Bardo over here. Let's see, did you level up too? You did, okay. We can spend 4 mutation points to get a new mutation. So we can get burgeoning. You cause plants to spontaneously grow in a nearby area, hindering your enemies. As I've mentioned before, this is underselling that ability. It's extremely potent and powerful, and I once had a legendary crocodile with burgeoning as an ally. It killed me because it spawned exploding little flower pulls. I'm not gonna pick this one. Beguiling. You beguile a nearby creature into serving you loyally. Mental attack versus a creature with a mind. So, Bardo could theoretically beguile somebody to be his minion. But as I've mentioned before, it kind of feels like, I'm pretty sure they don't actually get experience necessarily from completing quests or visiting locations, unless they are directly attached to me rather than one of my minions. They would still get experience from the general combat of our group, but that's about it. Unfortunately, none of these abilities are particularly interesting to pick. Force Bubble would generate a force field around it, which it would just start using force fields immediately upon combat, and then try to walk over to enemies and pushing them around instead of getting to attack them. So that doesn't really help. Honestly, Beguiling is the only one that I think could even have some remote use. So I guess I'm just gonna pick that. I mean, he has a +0 ego modifier, so... yeah, unfortunately not the greatest of mutations that we get to choose from. So what I'm gonna do here is I'm gonna wait until morning. And it is morning now. And now we're gonna dominate Hubu again. We're gonna bask. So, currently our quickness is 100. Now that we bask, it is plus 30% natural healing rate and 15 quickness. I am curious. Now, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go back to the overworld. I'm gonna take 1, 2, 3 steps. And I'm just gonna go randomly into this screen here. And I'm gonna dominate my friend here again. So functionally, because I traveled on the overworld, a lot of time has passed. We're almost at the end of the day that we just started. And theoretically, I believe the basking should have worn off by now. So I'm curious whether you still have the extra 15 quickness. You currently do. Okay. I need to pay attention next time we do that again to see whether that is still going to be holding true. Alrighty, in the meantime, I think it is also fine for me to now try and go ahead and do a little bit of a side quest. Over in Beylav, we found a Hindran, basically a centaur person, or fawn person. It's more like a deer person. Anyways, you have run out of water. Do you want to stop traveling? Yes. Oh. We're thirsty. I forgot that I could run out of water. Let me grab one of the water skins from Bardo. As you can see, Bardo is not even drinking any of the water. So, gonna go back outside. You discover a lair. Would you like to investigate? Sure, we are currently in the desert or the hillside. Or the canyons, I believe. You sense the animus of a vast mind. Someone is near. Oh boy. We also discovered the lair of Hu-Hu-E-E-A, legendary hulking baboon. Okay. Oh, immediately there is a legendary hulking baboon. But this is Hu-Hu-Hu-Hu, the four-ringed baboon king. Loved by baboons, hated by the Naphtali tribe, hated by tortoises, and hated by the Farmers Guild. So, let me actually check. Reputation with baboons. Baboons are not apes. Is already pretty terrible, so they will attack us. We also sense the mind of the animus of a vast mind. Basically, we are being hunted by one of those people that would like to eat my brains. Kind of like mentioned last time, because my dazzling mental ability has taken or piqued their interest. Okay, I'm gonna go one field south immediately. This appears to be some sort of a sludge field. Here we have a bit more space to maneuver. I'm gonna wait for turn. Few turns actually. Make camp. And let's go ahead and do two things. I'm gonna eat some bear jerky, because this should give me extra maximum HP. Well, probably anyways. And some slime right next to me. So why would you mix slime into your ingredients? Because this gives you a slime-based ability. Well, maybe. We can now use Slime Glance at level 1. We have 10% max HP. So we have the ability to use Spit Slime, and we no longer slip on slime. So if you are worried about slipping on slime, this is one way of combating that. But the 10% max HP is kind of what I was looking for. Oh, there you are. I was basically just waiting until maybe a potential enemy attacks me. I think the baboons didn't see me because we immediately left the area as soon as we entered, but this guy was hunting me. Irush Vavur no longer, Ptos Osprey in the psychic quadrilateral. This guy is super close to me. I'm gonna release adrenaline to increase my quickness. I'm going to tell my Snapjaw friends to attack him immediately. Telling your buddies to attack somebody does cost a little bit of in-game time. It's not as much as a full round though, I believe. And then I'm gonna use Temporal Fugue to multiply myself. Okay, that was quick. One of my Temporal Fugue clones immediately just nuked that guy with a laser attack. Okay, let's go up north and use this opportunity to continue. Somebody exploded something on the left. What is this? Glitter dust? Somebody threw a grenade. Also, does this baboon have anything? He has a carbide battle axe, a sturdy steel longsword, a steel utility knife, a hand axe, and a small stone. Wait, this guy has 4 arms. Man, he would be really fascinating to try and convince to join us. Do you think Bardo could convince him to join us? It's better if we were to knock them out, to be completely honest. If I could do the water ritual with him and have enough reputation with baboons in general, we would be able to just ask them with enough reputation to join us straight up instead of having to do anything else. Anyways, I do believe it is better to try and knock them out instead of doing anything else. So I'm gonna tell one of my clones to start attacking the closest enemy here. We're also being attacked by the monkeys throwing rocks. And my clones are just throwing lasers everywhere because they're trying to shoot. Oh, there's another legendary baboon. My goodness. Ooh, oh, ooh, 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 ah, ho, oh. Another 4-ringed baboon king. Probably also has 4 arms. Loved by baboons. Hated by apes. Admired by the swine for telling body jokes. Alright, let's go south 1 tile. Let them come in over as well. And I'm just gonna get out of the way of the laser shooting minions. They just hit one of my Snapjaw friends. That's not a good start. Stop! It just hit me. See, this is why I don't give allies ranged weapons, especially ones that have a terrible accuracy. But on the right side, I'm not using up my actual battery for shooting because my minions are doing that. Just gonna pass turns doing nothing myself. Because generally speaking, again, I'm not particularly great at combat with my character directly. And turns out our Snapjaw friends are just doing a fantastic job over there. Alright, I need you to attack this guy up here. Because you guys are just gonna keep hitting my Snapjaw friends. Stop that. I'm gonna tell you to attack the guy down below. I'm gonna tell you to attack this ooze all the way in the southwest of the map. I basically just want him to stop firing lasers. You hit that guy on the right side. Okay, my clones disappeared anyways. We have gained level 10, 5 hit points, additional mutation points, and 70 skill points. The baboons now like us even less than before. But apes now like us quite a lot actually. And so did the villagers of Shakesh. Just a random village. We probably haven't found it. We're now despised by swine. So yeah, these legendary creatures give a ton of experience. That's 1,100 experience. Alright. Both of my Snapjaw buddies were green for a moment there, and they're no longer. Excellent. What's also excellent is we have actually acquired a bunch of useful potential items. This is a lacquered weird artifact. Lacquered means that it cannot rust. I believe anyways. So let me grab that. Let me grab this. Let me grab the carbide arrow because why not? Don't really care about the other items for now. Let me try to identify this. This is an electrified club. Basically it just adds a bit of electric damage whenever you attack with it, if you put a battery in it. I don't plan on putting a battery in it, but it's a thing we could do. So, we go back up north, and then immediately back south. Also on the right side we can see that there's another weird artifact on the ground, as well as a Snapjaw corpse. There happened to be a Snapjaw over there that probably got murdered by the baboons, and there's another baboon, the 9-ringed baboon. He's hated by the Consortium of Fighter, which Consortium of Fighter is actually a really good thing to get reputation for. So let's see if we can survive. I actually really don't want to send my snapshot buddies in to fight directly because, okay, one of these hulking baboons decided to just chase us after us and they just ran away. Basically, I really don't want to fight on their turf because that seems really dangerous. Just gonna spend a bunch of turns waiting, hoping that the baboon is gonna join us down here. Peek up again and go back down. It looks like he went over here. Oh, there he is. Maybe he's coming down. There it is. Alright. Immediately attack this guy, please. I'm going to take a step back. And you attack the hulking baboon, because hulking baboons have predictably a bit more power. Let's put it this way. I'm also going to use a menacing stare on him, so he hopefully... Oh, yeah, he is overwhelmed with terror. He hopefully will not be attacking us, and instead try to, like, flee. Because legendary creatures can have all sorts of mutations, including mental mutations, like burgeoning plants, that can just explode you in one short round. Gonna hit the baboon next to me. And the legendary guy is coming over. I'm gonna use Intimidate to make him run away. I'm also telling Ubu here to attack him as well, rather than just attacking random baboons. And let's see. I think we're doing pretty well. There we go. Baboons now absolutely despise us. But the Consortium of Fighter reputation increased, as did the Twix Bark Flock. No idea what that is. And the Villagers of Ezra. That's actually a nice reputation to have as well, honestly. Not complaining about that. So 2 really good reputations there. Ubu gained another level. And just charges straight into battle. Excellent. So, let's see whether this legendary baboon had anything useful on him. Silver nuggets is worth 50 coins no matter your ego or reputation, so it's really valuable actually. Or ego ability. We're gonna just let our buddies take care of the ooze here, because that one would prevent me from resting. You see a giant amoeba to the east and refrain from resting. This guy all the way over here. The game tells me, no, I can't rest, there's an amoeba over there. Let's go and deal with it. Also, while I'm walking over there, let me briefly take control of Ubu here. And you no longer have the quickness boost. That's a shame. So I would need to bask every single time we do this. Also, you cannot bask with hostiles nearby. Well, that's inconvenient. Because this ooze over there counts as hostile. So I'm just gonna run over there as Ubu, flurry the slime, attack it with all my weapons at the same time, and just it. Now we bask. Try to, it's disabled. Why is it disabled? Oh, because it just hit nighttime. That's unfortunate timing. Anyways, let's see, we have 2 mutation points. We could actually invest our mutation points into the abilities directly in order to advance them, but I'm not too keen on putting more points into photosynthetic skin. Like, it's a fantastic ability if you have it as a player, but having to micromanage it every single time we get into a new area for my allies is gonna be a bit of a headache. It would theoretically be the correct thing to do, but yeah, it's a lot of work. Anyways, I'm going to invest 150 skill points into charge. Ubu here now will be able to just charge enemies and attack them at the same time, which is also a prerequisite skill for axe proficiency to charging strike. Once we get to 19 strength, which is just basically 1 extra attribute point away, we will be able to charge an attack, and if we do hit with those attacks, it will cleave the enemy's armor, because it's gonna be a charging strike with an axe proficiency. But gonna wait another few rounds. We're gonna level you up as well, Bardo. You didn't level. Why did you not level? Why did only Uber get experience? I'm a bit confused. Did you level? Maybe you just are still one level behind. Anyways, gonna give you hurdles so you can start running as well, or sprinting. Okay. Moving up here, I cannot see the monkeys because I cannot see in the dark, but I'm wearing a torch, so of course they can see me, and my snapshot buddies can smell them. Okay, there is the legendary monkey right here. Both of them are attacking it immediately. That is good news for me. Gonna release adrenaline in order to gain extra turns. So my quickness is heightened. That guy is defeated. Gonna menacing stare the hulking baboon so it does not come over and hit me. And we defeated one more legendary. The Naphtali tribe is now indifferent to us. This is actually very interesting. I do wonder whether this means that the creature or the tribesmen in the Naphtali or in the jungle will no longer be intrinsically hostile to us. I've actually never had Naphtali reputation before going there. They were just always attacking me. And tortoises now actually like me quite a bit, as does the Farmer's Guild. I generally have no idea where the Farmer's Guild is or who represents it. I guess the snail farmer, etc. would be farmers, huh? Alright, there's a bunch of monkeys trying to hit me. Alrighty. Wait a few turns, and we should be good here. Man, I keep seeing Ubu being green and thinking, oh, are you still hurt? But it's a lighter green when my allies are hurt. And usually when my allies are green, that means they've already taken a good chunk of damage, because they stay with their default color scheme until they took at least a little bit of damage beyond the emboldened buff, which, you know, it's like 30 damage or so, which is quite a lot. Okay, let's take another look. There's more baboons, so let me just have my snapshot friends deal with them. There's a shrewd baboon, just gonna let you deal with that guy as well. 125 experience. There's a weird artifact. I believe this is belong to a snapshot, yes. Grab the armor, a quilted shawl. I broke the artifact instead of identifying it, so let me just take it with me. Maybe it's gonna be useful later down the road, who knows. Also, I'm carrying too much to move. I'm just gonna wait until my snapshot friends come back over. Why are they not coming back over? Let me drop that leather armor. Huh? You guys have a Mexican standoff or something? What are you guys doing? I'm so confused. There's an engraved two-handed iron longsword. Right, apparently we already had that history. Also, let me give you a bunch of items to hold for at least a while. You can have these things. I highly doubt you're gonna actually equip these things. But I guess we'll see. Huh. So of course more monkeys attacking us, and well, they're not the most dangerous steel utility knife. I think this only weighs 1 pound. It's actually quite valuable compared to how much it weighs, so I pick it up. Shrine to Sharashir. Alright, we learn more about the Sharashir Sultan history. Which, I don't know if there's gonna be just flavorful text for the Sultan history or whether it means something in the end. Because there are some places where you get into more Sultan significant places later down the road, let's put it this way. Not gonna spoil anything beyond that. Because I'm hoping we're making this that far in this run, although there's a lot of obstacles in the way there still. It's not gonna be anytime soon. Also, you might notice we gain very little experience now compared to how much we gained before, because, well, we have leveled up quite significantly. There's another legendary baboon over there. This one is hated by hermits and admired by the Narama's wife clan for sharing fresh water with them. How nice of them. Unfortunately, Snapchat friends are not with me, so I'm just gonna switch screens. They get teleported to me and I take full advantage of that. You attack this guy, and you attack this other hulking baboon. Alright. Menacing stare, you're not gonna attack me. Or well, you would. You could. But you're running away in fear. Telling both of my friends to just attack that guy. Release adrenaline to start attacking the hulking baboon, and baboons dislike us even more. Hermits, reputation increased. The Narama's wife clan. I think that is generally just a random faction you can find in some ruins. There's a high probability we will actually never meet them. Or it could be a very important faction. I genuinely have no idea. There's technically always a way to fix reputation if absolutely necessary, but it's gonna be highly random whether that's gonna be a thing or not. Okay, there's more baboons over there, which may or may not be part of another legendary baboon faction. There's baboon corpses standing around here. Oh. There's a bunch of bloody ivory. It's a leather whip here, picking this one up, leaving the sturdy leather armor behind. It's very heavy and it's not worth much compared to how heavy it is. Alright, we did find the staircase all the way over on the west side here. Get impaled. Let me just wait until you're healed. And down into the lair of more baboons. We already see stuff fighting on the far right side. I don't know what these particles exactly mean, but areas only become alive once they are generated, if you will. Alright, I'm gonna tell my friend here to attack this baboon. And then I'm gonna tell you to attack this baboon right in front of you. Because once again, AI control characters love to attack the first thing they see, and that is often not the first thing that they can attack. Level 11. It's pretty nice. How many mutation points do I have? 2. Okay, I'm gonna wait until I can buy a new mutation. Hoping for some good ones. And there's another new baboon. This is Ooh. Loved by baboons. Disliked by the Putus Templar. Admired by mollusks. This is one of those that I would actually prefer to befriend instead. Because Putus Templars, basically you cannot really be friends with them. They tend to represent anything that is just bad, if you will. Attack that guy, please. Critical hit. As you can see, our legendary Snapshot is generally quite fine in a one-on-one combat with this baboon. Ooh, this baboon has some electric attacks. I'll get to what I just saw in a second here. One of the baboons switched to places with the legendary baboon, so I need to tell my friend here to attack the closer enemy again. Also, the legendary baboon is backing off, trying to throw rocks, which, you know, not so nice. It's also a narrow hallway. And, once again, they switch places, so we need to tell our friend to attack the next baboon. There's a lot of them in a row. It's a bit more tedious if you're a minion-based character. If you were to just be the fighter yourself, you could just hold forward and just bruise through them. 125 experience, Bardo gains a level. I think this is the legendary one. Alrighty. Putus Templar increased to -600. Mollusk despise us now. Which, there is value in having mollusk reputation. But generally speaking, you never need reputation with anything in this game. So let's make more food because I'm hungry. Just get extra maximum HP. You never need reputation with anything in particular, but it can be quite handy to have it, so some enemies or, well, factions are no longer as aggressive towards you. We find an electrified carbide dagger with a chem cell that is full. I'm actually taking the chem cell out of this. Replace cell. Taking it out because that means I can shoot more lasers. And importantly, I'm gonna actually equip this dagger myself. I don't really care about having an axe equipped for myself. So I'm just gonna equip this dagger, and we have a carbide axe that we can give one of our friends here. We're gonna give this over to Ubu. I don't have a preference as to who I'm giving what, but Ubu should probably be equipping the Carbide Battle Axe. Let's see. Yeah, Ubu just equipped the Carbide Battle Axe and unequipped the Iron Longsword. So basically, because we already have axe proficiency, our friends now prefer to equip, well, weapons of that type they have proficiency in. Okay, this monkey is trying to shoot me, kinda rude, and we send one of our Snapchat friends just forward, dealing with him. And I'm just spending turns waiting, because it's not particularly dangerous down here, from what it seems at least. Can grab a fractured microchip. It's worth not a whole lot. The main value of the microchip and other fractured items tend to be that you can use them for getting tinkering bits out of them. Alright. Bardo now also gained a level, as you can see. Oh, there's another legendary monkey. 11 ring Baboon Riddler. So he just used an ability on us that confused us. It's like a confusion in a cone. But I have mental mirror, so I literally just reflected that back to him, so he's confused instead. Mental mirror often doesn't really come into play, as in whenever... It often doesn't do a whole lot against regular enemies. But in specific situations like this one, it's just nice to be not confused, which means, well, we don't have to deal with the effects of not being able to tell anything. Alright, you guys are just continuing to fight. Oh, that was another legendary guy. Fellowship Wardening decreased. Oh no, Warden reputation is quite important. That was another baboon there. Hated by trolls. Troll reputation can be quite nice to have, but it's not really necessary. Okay, keep attacking, friends. Alright, the troll reputation acquired. A few more, and there's another one. There's a lot of them. This is kind of exactly what I was hoping for in terms of getting more experience along the way. Disliked by Beetles, hated by the Consortium Fighter, hated by Worms. All of these reputations are gonna be great to have. Ooh. You can see Bardo here is injured. He's yellow now. Yellow is kind of where I'd rather just wait. I'm gonna wait until the party's healed. Okay, we were allowed to wait. They didn't come and attack us over here. Just nice. Gonna step forward and then step back. This guy apparently is hitting pretty decently hard, but as you can see, so does our Snapchat friend. He just hit a 19 and 22. He is getting strong now. Actually, that is a she. I will remember sometime. Sorry. Okay, there's another one. This is Hu-Hu-E-E-R. Hated by the fighter. Disliked by Beetles and Worms. Wait, who is this guy then? Disliked by hermits. Okay. I don't know if hermit reputation is ever particularly useful, but there are hermits around. Ooh. Okay. I don't like taking risks. I don't know what this baboon exactly can do. So what I'm gonna do is I'm actually gonna use my first salve injector here. Salve injector I can apply to allies. This will heal him over time. 6 HP at a time, it seems. I'm just gonna spend turns waiting. Ooh. You're wounded. This is even worse. Okay. What I just did there is I switched position with my snapshot buddy, so the baboon can no longer attack him, and we just knocked him out. Reputation with worms increased. Okay, you attack this guy. So I think what is happening is right now I'm standing in sap, which means potentially your dodge value gets reduced. You are still very red. I would prefer if you were not that red. Gonna wait until healed. Bardo is currently protecting. You move over here. Come on, friend. Move here. I'm gonna tell you to stay here until Bardo clears the area. Oh my goodness. I need to use it. I feel like I should use another self-injector. Hit the red root. Oh my goodness. We should be probably fine. But that monkey was hitting much harder than I would have preferred. I'm gonna use release adrenaline and menacing stare. This guy. Attack the one closest to me. Step in front of Bardo, so Bardo hopefully doesn't get hit. No, that was Ubu, sorry. I'm eventually gonna get them right. Okay. There's still one monkey throwing rocks at us from the west side. You're gonna take care of that guy. Alright, now let's try to rest until healed. Okay, I was a bit spooky, honestly, for a bit there. But, well, we won. There's a whole lot of... It's a huge mess here. It doesn't look like... I either picked up everything the baboon already had, or we didn't get anything interesting from that legendary one. It's a bit of a shame. Check the chest. Silver nugget, that's 50 coins. Very nice. Some bear jerky too, why not? Ooh. A lot of stone throwing, guys. I'm gonna go forward because I do have pretty good defense, but I also just got hungry, so I have reduced defenses. Okay, what I'm gonna do here is release adrenaline on temporal fugue, making multiple copies of myself, so they're gonna hopefully fight alongside my snapshots, because there is in fact another monkey. I'm gonna tell Bardo here to move back to the backside, because I don't want you to get knocked out. We leveled up to 12. Nice. Plus 1 point to each attribute, which is really good. Also another skill point. Where is Ubu? There you are. It's just gonna charge into battle because that's what they do. I'm just gonna be worried that they're gonna get lasered all the time. Because that is a real risk. Oh! There's another one that can confuse us. Ubu also just resisted being confused, which is good for us. Oh, and somebody got dismembered. Salty bloody moths to your face. Ooh, so whatever we are fighting can dismember. Dismember means exactly what you think it means. It just removes a body part, makes you bleed pretty heavily. Thankfully, it hit one of my clones. Whatever that was. It must be this guy here. 10-ring baboon Riddler. He's confused and terrified. Would that be you? One of my clones took a thing to the face. Attack this guy, please. Alright, my clones have disappeared. I'm gonna dominate this guy. He has confusion. Just taking a look at his stats and things. He has this guy has a lot of strength. He's also only level 5, 99 HP. Basically, he does not have as much HP as our friends. This was not the guy that could dismember. Who was the enemy that could dismember then? Anyways, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna have this baboon just hit himself. Basically, I'll look at my baboon, press K to attack, and then say yes, I want to really attack myself. It's one of the easiest ways to take out enemies that are really scary. And this guy is kind of... well, I'm scared because somebody dismembered one of my clone's faces. I'm gonna end domination so we actually get the experience from this encounter. And also, I actually don't know if I get experience from this encounter if I knock myself out. Maybe I should have tested this. Anyways, trolls are now indifferent to us. And we are favored by apes. And we get reputation with a random village. Okay. Good for me. And in case you're wondering, the face is no longer here because it belonged to one of my clones. Anything that belonged to one of my clones, like you could even get disarmed and get like a legendary weapon that you have equipped, disarmed and laying on the floor, it will disappear because it was tied to my temporal clone. So you cannot duplicate items like that. I heard there are means to duplicate items of sorts. Like for example, what you could do is temporarily duplicate... Oh, that's just fresh water. Thank you. We take that. We could theoretically like equip an injector, a rare injector, duplicate it with a clone, disarm that clone, and then just use the injector before it disappears. Like, that's a thing you can do. And it's very abusable. I prefer... Well, I wouldn't want to abuse it. I would probably use it like once, just kind of a demonstration. But then again, Caves of Cut is so unfair at times that I do not blame anybody for taking any advantage they can get. I was looking for Ubu here because I told Ubu to stay, and now I need to tell Ubu to come back along. So come back. But she was green, so I couldn't see her. Let's get back out of here. Also, whip up a meal. Preserve some ingredients. We get some bear jerky. For some max HP. Get out of here. And we are on the surface. Okay. Let's take stock. I have leveled up all the way to level 12, which is pretty competent, honestly, at this stage. Every few levels you gain +1 to all your attributes points, and every few levels you get 1 attribute point you can spend specifically on something. This is why we started with 10 strength and agility. We are now up to 12, which, you know, slightly better, I guess. I also can get more skills. I actually haven't quite decided yet on what else I'm going to get, but there's a high chance I should just be trying to get nostrums, although I don't have the intelligence in this character, I just realized. Never mind, I can't do that. Nostrums would allow me to treat bleeding, poison, illness, disease onset for myself and companions at the campfire, which would be potentially very helpful in the near future, but I can't quite do that right now. I don't really know what else I would want. There's no shame in just leaving it for now, I guess. We could theoretically get some endurance stuff. I'll figure it out later. What I do want to figure out more immediately is my friends. You are now level 9, which means you have an additional mutation you can potentially get, an attribute point to spend. So press M for a new mutation, yes. So we have the option between spinnerets, burrowing claws, and light manipulation. So, let me go from top to bottom. Spinnerets, you can spin sticky silk webs. While spinning, you leave webs in your wake as you move. You also get extra reputation with arachnids. Again, reputation doesn't really matter because it's attached to one of my minions rather than myself. But you are immune to getting stuck. This doesn't just include webs, this includes literally anything. Tar, sap, anything you can get stuck in. If you have spinnerets, you can no longer get stuck in. This is actually really nice just purely for that, because we would have somebody who could just dash through the deep pits of tar and not get stuck anywhere. Burrowing claws, you bear spade-like claws that can burrow through the earth. Basically, effectively we get the ability to dig through walls with our minions here, and AI control characters will try to dig through walls if they cannot get at the enemy that they are trying to get at. Burrowing claws is interesting, but I don't necessarily want this on a minion. or like an AI control character that just is going to break open walls just so they can get to the specific enemy they are currently targeting. It would require quite a bit more micromanagement. And light manipulation. Light manipulation allows you to laser, you know, the ability we had on our first character in this series. And it's really, really good if you have high ego. But Bardo doesn't really have particularly high ego, so it would be of, well, limited usefulness unless I were to let Bardo get higher ego. He is also the one that has extra, well, he could beguile a creature in order to recruit more friends to our cause. But again, I tend to prefer not to do that because they seem to not get all the experience, so it's kind of more difficult to keep them alive. So in this case, Spinnerates it is. Bardo can no longer get stuck. Now, we also have an attribute point to spend. Right now, improving strength would give us +1 strength to everything, so I think I'm just gonna go ahead and do that. Basically, increased chance to cleave through enemy armor is really nice here. Then, end domination, and importantly, let me actually just zoom in a little bit. Importantly, Bardo here also now has the ability to use spin webs, which is useful if you have a plan on how you use spin webs, but because all of our friends and allies can get stuck in these webs, I'm just gonna tell him that he's no longer allowed to use spin webs. So he's now forbidden, which it probably would just cause problems. I don't actually know if AI control characters ever use the spin web ability. I've seen like cave spiders run away and use webs, but that's kind of the extent of it. I don't know if Bardo would ever use them, but I prefer to just have him not even get the opportunity. Also, I forgot to point out something, so let me take control of Bardo again real quick. What I was laughing at earlier is the following. Let me see, where is it? No. There we go. Link of the Celebrated Boot, and its leather braces. This is a named item. Which is kind of funny because they were painted before and he decided to give him a new name. So your AI control characters, friends, they also get inspired by leveling up and potentially just name a random item, which is kind of funny at times, but also frankly quite annoying at times too, because I didn't know what he named, and now every time I try to look at his character and the list of stuff he has equipped, it's just gonna tell me Link of the Celebrated Boot, which is leather braces. I think it's both funny and also a bit annoying that they can do that. I would prefer if they didn't name random items, but simultaneously there's a certain charm to it, and I tend to try and keep these named items on those characters just for flavor, because they are seemingly attached to those leather braces, because presumably they had some nice paintings on them. Alrighty, let's take control of Ubu. Let's see. Everything is slime stained on Ubu right now, by the way, so that's why it's green. Ubu also can get the new mutation, actually 1 level higher at level 10. Let's see what we get. Stinger, Confusing Venom, Paralyze. Oh, that's just a Stinger. We're gonna get a Stinger. It's just depending which one we want, I guess. And I already have made my choice. Anyways, Stinger is a mutation that gives you an additional body part while a Stinger. And there are different types of Stingers. They can inflict Confusing Venom, Poisoning Venom, or Paralyzing Venom. I literally believe that's all 3 of them. I wonder whether that's just pure coincidence that we just got 3 Stingers, or whether you always get like 3 different Stingers. Anyways, you bear a tail with a Stinger that delivers Paralyzing Venom to your enemy. 20% chance on melee attack to sting your opponents. To my knowledge, this is improved by having multi-weapon proficiency and multi-weapon mastery eventually. So, effectively, this is just an extra attack that Ubu now will be able to string into her already strong arsenal of weapons. That also has a chance to paralyze, and paralyze means you just can't do anything, or well, the enemy can't. Plus, on top of that, I believe when you charge at an enemy, you automatically... Oh, by the way, you can use the Stinger as an activate ability, and you automatically hit and penetrate. So even if the enemy has an absurd amount of dodge chance, you will still hit with it. And, well, guaranteed paralyze if you use it as an active ability. There we go. Always sting on a charge or lunge attack. So even more reason to give this. Anyways, poison would just apply a bit of a damage over time effect, which can be useful against enemies that have like really high armor values, and dealing direct damage to them can be a bit of a nuisance. But it's not nearly as powerful in my personal opinion as just paralyzing them so they can't do anything. Confusion is kind of like a weak paralysis. Enemies tend to just randomly walk around instead of attacking, but they can still theoretically attack. So paralyzing them just makes the most sense. It would get confused for longer, which might be the benefit there. Anyways, paralyzing venom, we gain the ability to sting. Now I could invest that 1 mutation point to level up the sting ability. Let's see. What does it even level up? Okay, it gets extra attack penetration. Also, the Stinger counts as a... What's the word? Long range weapon? No, a long blade weapon. So it's actually kind of awkward to have so many different types of weapons on these characters. But we can have Ubu equip multiple long blades if we find a bunch of reasonably strong long blades. So that's probably what I'll be doing. Instead of going into axes, I will probably just go into long blades with Ubu at this point. So, you already have tactics to charge at enemies. Let me give you long blade as well at this point. Long blade proficiency. Yes, unlock it. We gain the aggressive stance and defensive stance abilities when we unlock this. Aggressive stance gives you +2 to chance to hit, and defensive stance gives you, I think, +2 dodge value. So aggressive stance in most circumstances tends to be the better one, because higher chance to hit seems, well, better. We also can give Ubu now the ability to lunge. You specifically, I believe, need a... Actually, do you need a weapon with that? Like a long blade weapon? You might need a long blade weapon. There's also dueling stance, which can allow you to disarm opponents if you swipe at them. So I think I'm just gonna heavily invest into long blades with Ubu at this point. So let's get the lunge, because this will allow us to get additional ability to sting. And I need to remember to try and give Ubu long blades. So we probably just... Ubu named that dagger too. Commanding shift of the lair of the Tlan Kipolak. So Ubu leveled up in the crocodile's lair and decided to name the dagger. Good job. That's fantastic. Anyways, I did forget to apply skill points to Bardo as well, so let's do that real quick. So Bardo also would like to have the ability to charge at enemies. That is 150 skill points invested. They're basically, you need to be, I think, between 2 and 3 spaces away from the enemy in order to be able to charge. But if you do charge, well, it's really good. And we require at least 23 agility or strength in order to be able to get better at multi-weapon fighting. So that's not gonna happen for a while. Access... Oh, there we go, we can get Cleave on Bardo here. Cleave, basically whenever you hit with an axe, there's a 75% chance you cleave their armor, giving a -1 penalty to their armor value. This penalty can stack a number of times up to half your strength modifier rounded up on a critical hit. So effectively, currently, this is half, which would be 2 divided by 2, which is 1 plus 1, so 2. So actually can reduce the thing by even more, and we now get a charging strike. When you charge with an axe and hit, if you cleave their armor, they get an additional -1 penalty to their armor value. If you have dismember, your chance to dismember when charging from an axe is doubled, When you charge with a cudgel and hit, you automatically daze your opponents. So charging strikes it is, because attacking at long range and immediately cleaving the enemy's armor is a fantastic opening move. And... well... I feel like that was really successful overall. I gained the experience that we were looking for. Let's get back to the overworld. We are also very close to Bela. Welcome to the Hindran village of Bela. I hope... okay. I was worried that the warden would be hostile towards us because we got a bunch of negative warden reputation. But it seems like we're still okay for now. Anyways, next time we're gonna explore the Hindran village of Bela. If you remember, they are a very secluded kind of people. Nobody really knows where Bela is as a village for the most part, because it's also kept as a secret. And anytime one of these Hindran people leaves the village, they are immediately exiled. They are not allowed to return if they leave. And turns out they are in some perils. They have questions. And we're gonna explore that next time. So, everybody, thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for listening and for lurking. If you like this episode, please do let me know in some capacity. I would appreciate that. Gives me extra motivation to continue. And well, I wish you a nice evening. Take good care. Bye-bye.